YouTube, and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you doing that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're going to get back on the Buick today. Going to get some more stuff installed on the firewall. Also get the rear shocks put on, get the fuel cell bolted in, and Buddy's going to continue to work on the body. So let's get started. Well, the first thing we're going to get started on today is to kind of get the accelerator pedal put in, and it's always really challenging to figure out how to get that in there right. It takes me a couple times usually. I need to find some more bolts. The bolts that was in the car were so bad rusted, but as soon as I find those, we'll see if we can throw this thing in there. All right, one gas pedal. All right, got a couple of issues we're going to deal with. We got to put a 90 right here on this line coming out of the oil pan. Obviously, it's hitting the headers. As I mentioned earlier, we got to swap out the fuel pump on this car. Right now, I'm having to make some shorter bolts to put in the transmission mount. I'm not sure we're going to raise this up. We may raise this up just a hair. We're going to put a fresh mount back here, but I'll try to get these bolts cut right now. Get this fuel pump off. We got to space the motor up, as you can see here. We're going to change and go to a different style fuel pump as well. So try to get that pulled off real quick while I got the motor jacked up. Okay, I got the fuel pump pulled off, and you can see right there where it was hitting on the frame, but we gotta have both outlets come out to the front anyway, so this ain't gonna work. So I'm going to lower the motor back down. We're gonna make some measurements here and see what we can do about it. Try to get one that'll work. Okay, we decided to go ahead and try some spacers. Buddy's got one now. We're gonna have these came off our late models. So if we try to get these in here, okay, that one's gonna stay. I'm gonna let this down. I need to do this with both hands, but we'll get them both on here and show you here in just a second. After 2 months, finally get that thing running again so we can make the last race of the year. So I guess that's the way it goes. I think we're going to idle the carburetor down a little bit. Okay, we got the spacers in. You can see those there now on each side. And good news is with those spacers, with this style racing pump, this will work. This has an outlet. Unfortunately, this came off the Nova, that car right there. This is a fuel pump that was on it. And the thing had a crack. You barely can see it. Matter of fact, you just remember this pump from one of the older videos. We chased a fuel leak and couldn't figure it out, but it was right there on that crack. You see where that crack is. But now got plenty of room back here. Buddy's swapping the oil line around so we can
raise it clear up the headers.
Okay, we're gonna raise it up here. Buddy usually doesn't like stuff to be raised up because he's so short. That's a well, I should have recorded. I'm glad I got that actually on recording because the first time he ever said raise something up. All right, got this new line made here, buddies. Put a 90 on the end down here where it goes on the oil pan, I should say. I'm trying to say, I'm looking and not talking at the same time. Okay, we shortened this line here up, ran it through there and back down. Now we got 90 on the oil pan, so that keeps got plenty of space now. So we're gonna go ahead and take this one off here too. And I think we're gonna shorten it. That's coming off the valve covers on top. So we'll just do one at a time to get these lined out. Buddy agrees with me. He thinks we can leave the motor in the car. And now we've got plenty of room on the fuel filter. I'm sorry, on the fuel pump. I think we'll be in good shape. Luckily, I have a whole bunch of different length hoses left over through the years of racing, and we got this real long one here. I think we can swap out using this as an evacuation line coming out of the heads, and so I think this will work. Hopefully, I'm gonna try it and see if it'll get about 3 foot out of this other one we don't need. Okay, we're gonna take this big old long thing out and swap it with this other one. Looks like it will fit. Okay, this evacuation line now coming off the back of the head. This is a whole lot better. We had about 2 foot of hose down here, so this will work out fine. We tie these together, keep that off the header right there. Can you get it twisted around there? There's aggravating the mess with these things sometimes. Okay, now we got to come up with a line that comes off the suction right there where this cap is. We got to route it through somehow and get over here to the bottom of the oil tank. I'm gonna go ahead and swap out this plug while we got it down. So we will run, this will be a number 12. I think we got enough room to get up under. It's gonna be a little tight fit, but I think we can get up under the cross member here. So I think we'll be in good shape. So let's make that line up. This is what years of racing looks like. I'd hate to think how much money is in this fitting box right here. And these, but that's why you don't ever throw anything away. You just keep digging and digging till you find what you need. Every once in a while, I don't have what I need, but then I take this to the racetrack with me. This is my emergency fitting drawer, so thousands of dollars worth of these stupid aluminum fittings in here. Okay, we are making progress here. Kind of went in and put the filter on and the cooler so we can get the lines made up. Of course, all this has still got to be cleaned up good. I went ahead and ordered a new fuel pump just like this one, and that'll be here Tuesday. I also had to order a new power steering bracket that's a head mount because we're going to have to run this motor with a power steering pump run up high. That's the only way to do it on this one. So that'll be here Tuesday or Wednesday as well. So I've spent a little money here in the last few minutes, but we'll keep on working on this, start getting these lines. We do have the feeder line going to the pump now, and Buddy's dragging out more lines here. Okay, as you can see here, we got to do a little adjusting up here. We may move this filter back just a hair. That's probably going to be the low-hanging fruit. Probably just if I can still get enough clearance for this bar here. But this is how much we got to drop the radiator. It's going to go down basically 5.5 inches. So we're going to cut these straps here out. And then I've already got a piece of metal down here cut, so we'll make a strap and come down off the frame on each side back up. I don't want to do that right now while we got all these oil lines opened up. But that's going to be a little major surgery here, but should be able to handle it. Okay, we cut off these original supports that held the radiator in place. The original radiator they had was a real short radiator, but that thing would have been super, super fat. So we're going to lower this down. This is what I've fabbed up right now. We're going to go ahead and hopefully I've measured it, and then that should get that radiator down. Now I'm not sure, I think I'll be able to get it low enough to even clear the radiator cap. But what we're going to do, if I have to, we can cap this off. That's what I've done on a couple of these cars here. We actually cap this off, weld it solid, then we fill it up from the neck up here. We're going to put one of the radiator cap necks on it. Now, I'm already knowing I'm probably going to cut this off. We're going to slide this up probably by 1 inch, but that won't be I don't think that'll be a problem. So we'll get this thing kind of temporarily held in and see what we got. We'll take a few measurements to see what we got to do. All right, we got this welded up now, and I'm going to clean up these welds just a little bit. Then we'll set it in there and see if see how close it is to fitting. Okay, that looks pretty trick there. Make this for the radiator support, and got the 45s on each side, makes it look pretty nice. So we'll see how, I'm probably going to trim these out a little bit on the edge, just a little bit to fit around the radiator, but we'll check it and see. Woo! All right, we got this just temporarily held in with some rivets, and Buddy and I were just discussing, we think we're going to have more room on the top because the hood did clear this and they had a 90 on it. To it. So we're going to, hopefully we can bring this radiator up a little bit, but I need to get as high as I can, and actually we may be able to go over that bar right now, but we're going to put the radiator in and see what we got. Okay, we got some really good news. By the time I put some padding on the bottom of this, we're going to be able to clear this bottom radiator hose over here. So that's really, really good news. And we can still put the get the radiator cap off. We're going to be below the hood. So this is fantastic. I'm really pleased with how that turned out. And it's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. So Buddy's continuing to work on the oil lines, which has been a all-day job, but something we knew had to be done.
Pretty good chore.
Gonna put this bar across here. This will
that's a vent.
You go to the vent and
back to the dry sump tank.
So, and this will be tied off to that all the way across. And this actually came off a late model we had here. We're going to drill these out, and I'll go in there and do that now. So we put a 1/2-inch bolt in there, and that'll give us a stiffener. Now we may have one little issue here, but we got spatial. We can either, actually we need to go below it. So and actually I think that's going to be able to, we can bow that line enough, I think, hopefully get that to clear. So okay, anyway, making progress.
Tight.
Well, when I got here this morning, I had good intentions of working on the rear shocks and the rear fuel cell, and we got to playing with these lines, and I tell you, that's been an all-day job. But we have all of the oil lines installed, and I tell you, that was a job. Now, I know you're going to say, well, they don't match. Well, I'm not getting paid for this job. As a matter of fact, there's we're just using what we had. There's nothing wrong with some black oil lines. You're not going to be able to see it, but we're using what I have. I got a lot of stuff here in my parts room. We're going to take all this off and clean it. But everything is ran, and this is what it's going to look like. So that's been a major deal. But I'll come back out here the next couple of days. We'll get this radiator installed. I'm very pleased about the radiator. We were kind of on a fact-finding mission today and just making sure we had room for the exhausts and the oil lines and the for the oil pan and everything, and radiator. Now everything's going to work, so we're real pleased. Wow, what a busy day. I am wore out. I know Buddy's tired. Buddy did majority of the work on the oil lines. I did a couple of them, but I was trying to concentrate on some other things we was trying to address, mainly trying to deal with the transmission mount and also on the radiator mount. But looks like all that's going to work, and I'm so happy about that. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching as always. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You should know that by now. Tell your friends, tell your family, and we keep on growing. Hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless. Take care.